Welcome to the PTE. If you rely on what sounds natural to your ear, you're walking into traps designed to cost you points. Today, we break down the mechanics of the reading section, replacing guesswork with a process where the correct answer becomes a matter of mechanical deduction. This is PTE Reading question 1226. It presents a single paragraph regarding a UK well-being report. We have 4 blank spaces, and below that, 4 distinct sets of options to fill them. To secure a high score, we must ignore what sounds right. Success requires a rigid application of textual evidence and grammar rules to systematically eliminate incorrect options. Let's start with the first sentence. Let's isolate the opening sentence and our first set of options: delivered, protected, demanded, and overviewed. Step 1 is to locate the primary subject taking the action. The text mentions the Measuring National Well-Being Program and notes it is generating a snapshot of life. We need to determine the specific action an official program takes with this type of report. You might be drawn to the word overviewed because overview appears in the previous sentence. This is a deliberate psychological trap. Test makers repeat words specifically to trigger a hasty, incorrect association. We can strike protected and demanded. A data-driven program doesn't protect a snapshot of life, nor does it demand one. It generates information for the public. This leads us to a specific rule of English phrasing called a collocation. When an official program produces findings for the public, they deliver a report. Delivered is the only choice that fits this grammatical requirement. By mapping the precise relationship between the subject and its action, we bypass the trap of repeated words and select the answer with confidence. For the second blank, we have the options: distorted, chartered, updated, and arranged. A common error here is trying to solve the blank the moment you reach it. If you stop reading at the blank, you lack the information required to make a choice. The marker we need actually sits in the words that follow. The phrase "and published annually" dictates what must happen to the data inside the report. It is released every 12 months. If a national statistical report is republished every year, the data inside it must be refreshed to remain current. We can eliminate chartered and arranged as they do not describe the action of refreshing data. The word distorted implies falsification. Since we are evaluating an objective government report, a negative action contradicts the established tone of the passage. That leaves us with the correct choice: updated. This demonstrates why a forward reading strategy is essential. The PTE frequently places the evidence you need in the trailing clauses. Let's shift to blank 3 and the options: velocity, weight, span, and number. The controlling variable here is the word crimes. Crimes are discrete individual events. They are not physical measurements of mass or speed. That fact instantly eliminates velocity, weight, and span. For a countable noun, English grammar requires a specific quantifier. We track the number of crimes. Now, look at the final sentence and the options for blank 4: pressure, plea, fancy, and leisure. First, we must locate structural conjunctions. The text mentions satisfaction with our jobs, followed by the conjunction or. This word establishes a direct conceptual contrast. The missing word must serve as the counterpart to our working hours. The opposite of work time is the time spent away from work. We are not looking for emotional states, ruling out pressure and plea, and fancy does not fit the context of a statistical time measurement. The counterpart to work time is expressed through the specific collocation, leisure time. Utilizing underlying grammatical frameworks, recognizing countable nouns, and identifying contrast conjunctions removes the ambiguity from vocabulary selection. Here is the final result. By refusing to guess, we have deduced delivered, updated, number, and leisure, resulting in an accurate paragraph. To replicate this on your own exam, practice the 3 tactics we used today: verify subject-action relationships, enforce a strict forward reading habit, and match required collocations. Applying this evidence-based approach removes intuition from the equation. It transforms the reading section from a guessing game into a predictable system.